It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Tuesday, the 15th of August. I'm Michael Groff. Drier air has come into the state, and you'll feel that when you step outside this morning. Yesterday in the valley, we continued our trend of below average temperatures with a high of just 103 degrees. That will continue for much of the week, as will the dry weather. No chance of precipitation. But what about the weekend and next week, next Monday, specifically for the solar eclipse? Well, we'll talk about that as we look outside this morning here at the unbelievably early hour of 4:25 a.m. Clear skies out there right now, 90 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points back up to 57. We were down in the 40s last night, and that dew point will drop once again later this afternoon. The drier air will continue to work in here. Relative humidity, 34%. The winds are light, the barometer rising. Temperatures out there this morning, 74 at Fort McDowell, upper 70s in some of the cooler spots around the valley, but meanwhile, the urban core, upper 80s to about 90 degrees. Here's the water vapor satellite view, and this is a pattern that is more reminiscent of late September than it is mid-August, with deep troughing across the central and western part of the United States, and another wave passing north of Arizona today. On the watch warning map, dense fog advisories, parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and around Memphis, Tennessee this morning. There's flash flood warnings near Fayetteville, Arkansas. And off the East Coast, all of that red is in association with, those are hurricane advisories for Hurricane Gert, but that's going to stay well off the United States East Coast, not going to affect anybody. On the convective outlook, a slight risk of severe storms today around North Platte, Grand Island, Kearney, Nebraska, extending northeastward toward Yankton, South Dakota. A marginal risk goes from around Lubbock to Sioux Falls. And as far as our weather, let's get into the details now. We'll do that by checking the models. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. And the deep trough continues across the western United States with another wave passing north of Arizona. And ordinarily, if we had moisture around, that would help to kick off some showers and storms. And I guess there could be an isolated storm way up in the mountains or perhaps toward northeast Arizona today. But here in the deserts, we're going to be dry, sunny skies. Lower humidity, highs 99 to 102. Not going to be too bad for the middle part of August. Tonight, clear skies, drier air continues, and many of us are going to drop into the 70s overnight. Suppose the warmest locations, maybe downtown Phoenix or at the airport, will still be in the low 80s. But I wouldn't be surprised if you got away from the city, you get out to the open deserts or the high deserts, lows could drop into the upper 60s. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler with troughing around. Highs in the upper 90s to about 101, the sky remaining sunny with a dry air mass. A few degrees warmer as we go toward the end of the week. Thursday, upper 90s to about 103. We should be 101 to 104 on Friday, but the sky remains sunny. The air mass remains dry. Saturday, maybe an isolated thunderstorm creeps into the southeast corner of the state, but we're going to be dry. Sunny skies, highs 102 to 106. Same thing on Sunday, except we'll see more widely scattered showers and storms into at least the eastern third of Arizona. Mostly sunny skies in the valley, but I can't rule out an isolated late afternoon or evening storm. More than likely a dust storm gets kicked up here toward the valley. Chance of rain is pretty minimal at this point, but the humidity levels are going to sneak up again, and high temperatures still in the 102 to 106 range. All right, here we go to 11 a.m. Monday morning for the big solar eclipse. And a few isolated showers and storms in the southeast corner of the state. Let's look at the cloud cover. This is put out by the GFS. Not really showing a whole lot of clouds around here. We've seen different looks, and certainly this is probably going to change one or two more times between now and next Monday. But it still looks like a pretty good viewing of the solar eclipse around here in southern Arizona, as you would expect for the middle of the day on a typical August day. Highs on Monday still in the 102 to 106 range, but with drier southwesterly flow, I don't really see us having too much of a chance of rain, maybe about a 10% chance of a storm. Here's a week from today, Tuesday the 22nd. High pressure over the southern plains, troughing along the west coast. Looks kind of like drier southwesterly flow setting up, and there'll be a very tight moisture gradient across the state. I do think that the eastern portion of Arizona, the eastern third of the state, still has a chance of storms. But where that monsoon boundary is exactly still remains to be seen. If it's a little bit west of us, then I suppose we'll still have a chance of storms, but I have a feeling it may get knocked a little bit further to the east. Here's Wednesday, the 23rd. High pressure remains across the southern tier of the United States, expanding just a bit, but the flow aloft still kind of southwesterly, so I don't see a whole lot of moisture hanging around here in south central Arizona. Any chance of storms will be confined to the eastern part of the state or off into New Mexico. And here's the end of the forecast period. This is Thursday, the 24th of August. Looks like drier air would be coming in. Westerly is getting pretty active, troughing coming through the area. But there's a lot of model inconsistency here. The forecast confidence this far out is pretty low. And this is a rather anomalous pattern. It's hard to imagine this continues for the next 10 days. Meanwhile, the other elephant in the room, of course, the GFS puts another hurricane back on the board. This is the system that's way out there, about 1,000 miles east of the Windward Islands right now. By 240 hours from now, 10 days out, this is 2 a.m. Eastern Time, Friday, the 25th of August. The GFS has this system over the eastern Bahamas, somewhere well to the east-southeast of Miami. Obviously, this has been on and off the board several times on various model runs if you've been watching our videos or keeping up with the model data. So this is just one deterministic model run, nothing to get too excited about. Let's look at the European. This is the exact same time, 2 a.m. Eastern Time, Friday, the 25th of August. The European has this system way out there, well east of the United States East Coast, east of the Carolinas by several hundred miles, moving to the north-northwest, likely to not affect anyone if that verifies. And then, just for fun, let's look at the Canadian model. This is the GEM, and it's got two tropical systems, one north of Puerto Rico and the other one, again, well off the East Coast, probably not affecting anyone other than perhaps Bermuda. So, model madness, model chaos, it's 240 hours out. This is way out here in the land of make-believe. All right, let's look at the temperatures through the period coming off of the European ensemble. And it's got highs getting back toward normal by this weekend, but certainly nothing too outlandish for middle to late August. And then a warm-up perhaps by the end of the month, but that remains to be seen as well. And that'll wrap it up for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. Our next video comes back here tomorrow morning. Really do appreciate you watching us every day. Thank you so much for that. And if you like our videos, you can always subscribe to us so that whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get the notifications. Otherwise, be safe out there and have a great Tuesday.